Howdy there, fellow Shadow Priests. Today we are looking at a comp matchup guide, RPS versus Jungle Cleave. It's a super fun matchup. It's really back and forth, and it used to be RPS is one of their biggest counters, but now with our new fun PvP talents, thank you Blizzard, and 9.1 we have improved Mass Dispel, which is going to be this like ridiculously fast cast MD, and we have Siphene buffed, which just gives it more HP, so we're going to get an extra MS from that. And I think these talents are the best in the jungle that I've played so far. Now the Jungle Cleave typically goes on the rogue, so we're going to be able to cast a lot more, which means we don't need Void Origins, we don't need Void Volley really, because we're not going to be stacked up on them too much. Void Torrent seems like the smart pick for me, because they're always on the rogue, and having this on-command damage during our setup seems really effective. People keep telling me to play a Mindbender, but I'm not completely sold on it. I feel like I like Void Torrent more. I don't know why. Seems like the damage that it deals is I can control it more and it's more meaningful, if that makes sense. So yep, play these talents every game. One thing to be cautious of with the improved Mass Dispel is the mana, because you cannot be pressing shield on cooldown, you can't be purging too much, otherwise you won't have enough mana to MD the traps. So once you MD a trap, you maybe have like a couple globals to purge between then, and then I would say within like 10 or 15 seconds of your healer coming off trap DR, you need to stop spending mana. Even if like the Feral has Thorns up, you need to just literally ignore him and find something else to do. Pull your mana, don't press shield, don't press purge, so that you always have MD for the trap, because they are going to struggle to win without the trap. So that covers up the talents. And then the playstyle, what's the strategy? Well, we're going to kill the Feral Druid. The Priest can also be a good target in the matchup. We'll get to that later, but for the most part, you want every single kidney shot onto the Feral Druid, and you want to only CC the Priest when you have adequate damage. So that means that the Druid's either not in bear form or low HP and doesn't have a Fleshcraft shield. We don't want to blow too much CC while the Fleshcraft shield is on the Feral. And they're typically not going to open until the rogue is out, so the best thing you can do is just build up your damage, get some insanity, start dotting the Priest, dot the Hunter. We can dot the Hunter in this matchup, although it's very rare that we'll actually kill him. I'm just kind of dotting pets. We're going to get a lot more self-healing and insanity and damage just by dotting 4 targets right off the bat. So here comes the Feral, he stuns me, already instantly going rogue. They break my flesh shield, so they want to go on me. First kidney shot onto the Feral, not important to CC, because he still has the Fleshcraft shield, right? And I think he maybe even got Aurora Sack there, I didn't see. Oh, here's another important thing that I'm going to actually skip back and watch. So I get silence, which means I can't grip the trap. I tried to eat it, but I guess I ran too far away. What I'm planning to do in this matchup a lot of the times is protect my Shaman from fear. So let's run this at like half speed. So right here, I know the Priest wants to fear. I should have held my globals and then feared right here, but since I just used a global to shield, which wasn't very effective, that's funny. It actually looks like I just clicked my MD, but I was putting my cursor there to MD. So yeah, because I used my globals wrong, the Priest gets a fear. We can see him dooring in. So always try to protect your Shaman against the Priest fears. If the Priest ever lands full fears out of traps and they don't get dispelled, it's going to be devastating later on in the game. So I MD there, and yeah, I didn't click it. I didn't actually press the bind. That's just where my cursor was. And then we're going to continue to just put out dots on everybody. I have Vampiric Embrace rolling for another second. Often you want to use that with your Void form, so a little bit of a misplay by me. I start popping my cooldowns, but I'm being told to run, and it's kind of sketchy since I used a lot of damage here. I want to actually be in on this Feral. I notice that the Hunter is way out of position, so what I'm going to do here is pop a lot of damage onto him. I'm going to Void form and then stun him and Void Torrent while he's completely out of range of the Priest. This can often be a mana matchup, so this isn't the worst thing to do, but generally I should not use Void form if the Feral's running. I need to actually be on top of him, and yeah, that was kind of a bad Void form, so we can learn from our mistakes, and I definitely will not do that again next game. The reason why we're playing down low is because we're trying to avoid damage from the pets and the Hunter simultaneously. I can line the Hunter down low on the pillars, and so can Nesper. I will MD here, but they get both kicks on me. It ends up breaking, and since they're both kicking MD often, it's going to be really easy for me to get those Void Torrents off and those VTs. One other thing that I'd like to mention is when I faded earlier in the game, it was because I was in kill shot range, and if you're ever below 20%, the Hunter can kill shot you for essentially all of your HP. Even if it doesn't crit, it's going to kill you. So you really need to press disperse or press fade if you hit below 20%. That's like the super ultimate danger zone. And we're going to recap here on what happened. So the dome is down for the Feral. He's still kind of rotting though. We're going to bomb this incoming heal. As the dome fades, I will Sci-Fiend the Feral too, because Radiance heals through bomb. So the Priest Radiances twice into the Sci-Fiend, and it doesn't heal the Feral at all. I silence the Priest. The Priest is forced to Trinket, and look, I hit that 20% kill shot range. So I just pressed Disperse because I easily could have died to a Hunter crit. He's got his cooldowns up. Better to be safe than sorry. It sucks that I was channeling my Mally as I did that, but you don't want to lose the game not using cooldowns, so it's better to just use. Here we're going to life grip the trap. This is super important. If you can do it once the trap is already in the air, it's even more effective. Sometimes just gripping the shaman while he's stunned, the hunter will save his trap and still land the trap. But you can also stack up until you're like topped off and then let him get it, an MD too as well. So I'm looking at the Sham, I see the trap get pulled, and then I grip then. You have to kind of wait till you see it. And since I'm tracking it on Omnibar, I can tell when he uses it. The further away the hunter is from the shaman, the easier it is to grip the trap as well. But notice how I'm still stacked up on my shaman. I'm the ultimate protector. If the priest runs in, I have Trinket and I have Fear, so I'm going to be able to cut this priest off. Now, our positioning earlier was kind of sketchy when I jumped down with all my cooldowns up, but now I'm cutting the priest off, so he literally can't get to the Feral without going through me. So I get a very easy horror into Fear, and we're just going to go for the kill here. Trying to reapply my dots. The hunter has kick up, so this is kind of a risky Void Torrent that I'm about to pull off, but I think like 1 or 2 ticks could actually kill him. If I had canceled it in death, it may have been enough damage. Hard to tell though. Gonna death into Paints Up in a moment here. Half blind, and just shut the Feral down. Now I did have a Sci-Fiend coming up in 4 seconds as well, so that team was completely and utterly out of hope there. That was kind of an interesting game just because of the way it played out with me jumping down. I didn't get good value on my PI on the Feral. I really only hit the hunter and we only forced his Trinket. But we'll show some other examples where maybe it comes more down to mana as well. Right, here's another game. I don't think this one comes down to mana too much. Oh, this is actually interesting. So the Priest domes the Feral, and I MC the Priest, so the dome becomes our dome. So now we're taking less damage. We're all 3 domed up, and my Rogue has Vendetta up on the Feral, and we get like an Envenom off while the dome was ours. So that was kind of a cool little clip. Something, if you didn't know, you can do. You can MC the dome. One thing that I noticed in this game is that we're all really like huddled up here, so it's kind of sketchy that the priest can get Fears on cooldown, but because we're also all huddled up, we can line the hunter, and we're like rooting the pets here. Do you see how the pets are rooted in this area, and my rogue is running around the pillar? We're able to constantly line the hunter and the pets between our setups, and then once we have a kidney shot, we will be able to do a go here. So I Fleshcraft, so I can't get feared. He doesn't fear me, fears the shaman. I MD it because I'm immune to CC. Stun him here. Silence or whatever, silence into stun. Kicked on the Void Torrent. Kind of need to play that a little bit cleaner, but yeah, let's try to find another game. Here we go. We'll just play this one at full speed. Now that we kind of know the strategy and what to do, we can look at things that went wrong here. Okay, so here's an issue. If they're going rogue, you need to play more like a healer and kind of stack up with your healer. You need to LOS a lot and not get CC'd. I kind of get MC'd like a total bot while I'm targeting the Oozling. So look how much pressure they get because I'm unable to MD the CC. If I had just faded this MC or silenced it or anything, they wouldn't have got this much pressure. They wouldn't have forced evasion, and we would have been A-okay. Now I'm on triple MC and Clone DR. Time to start doing some damage. So I'm going to break this Feral's shield with my Void Form, and we're going to go out. I'm going to hold my CC until we're ready to go, purging the thorns off because I think it's okay in this moment. We're going to silence the priest as soon as we can. Even though the bomb is down, we still want to silence so he can't dome or radiance as well. My Sci-Fiend is sucking him through the pillar. That's really OP. Stun him on his Rapture. I will fear him out of this. Likely that it's going to break to the Earthquake, but we'll see. Get a good Void Torrent. Death doesn't crit. We don't win. Unfortunate. But either way, solid opener. Notice we waited to do our CC until that Fleshcraft shield was over. Good time to Maledict, I think, here as well. We get a Dispel. If we can chain Malleys, we can just win in the opener. Oh, we do win in the opener. So other than me not fading that MC, I think that game was played very solidly, especially offensively. I think we did a great job that game. Right, this is just another game where we're channeling the Feral, but because the Feral is running so much, it's important to hit the Priest as well. Hit whatever you can. I'm trying to keep dots up on all three, mostly because the Priest is at this point, and anybody can die. Just having pressure up, maybe forcing cooldowns when you wouldn't otherwise, just because the Priest has no mana, is going to be really effective. So definitely maximize your damage. If you can out DPS this team, you can win. And the reason why we're able to dampen so hard is just playing effectively with our master spells. Like the Shaman is able to Tremor, he's able to Fleshcraft Trap, so there's a lot of things that we can do. I think the Feral actually just left the game. It's kind of toxic. So you can see I'm waiting for the trap, he traps, MD instantly, and yep, get the win. So there's just a lot you can do defensively to keep the game going. I would say the easiest way to lose is to not have mana for MD and for your Shaman to get trapped and feared and them just to be doing damage to the rogue. So kind of sketchy. MD the trap. It looks like the Hunter's pushed up, so we're going to do a go into him. We force his human. Try to Void Torrent here, but I get stunned. The Feral had kick as well, so it wasn't the greatest use of Void Torrent. Either way, we cranked a lot of damage into the Hunter, and we made the Priest use mana, so not bad. If the Feral's in cat form, we're going to be hitting him. He really can't afford to push in here. I have PI up, I have CC, I have Unholy Nova. I press it, we CC the Priest on this one, excellent. Now the Priest is going to have to use a global to come out and dispel as well if he wants to get anything out. I missed my fear. Terrible play by me, but you know what, we can run it back. I didn't want to grip that trap because I would have gripped him into fear, so we MD instead. Gonna Desperate Prayer just to avoid using any cooldowns here. I have Silence, I DR Silence. He actually trinkets that, kind of an unfortunate DR Silence, and the fact that we get Trinket is really good, and that he's pretty much at this point. So we just kind of him in that last 2 minutes of the game there. Kind of a cheesy way to win, but if you play well defensively, you can certainly always win on mana. So let's check out a game where we actually have to hit the Priest a little bit too. I think I have one of those somewhere. Alright, here's me actually playing Venthyr into this matchup. Like I said, I would kind of prefer Venthyr if they're going on the Rogue, because you're gonna be able to land good mind games on the Feral for easy setups. But we wanted to show an example of why hitting the Priest is good. Not only does it make them spend more mana, but it makes them play very defensive, and all of a sudden, instead of the Feral doing damage, he is having to peel, clone, and heal. So that was like a little nursery rhyme, I guess. Kind of scared of them going on me in this matchup, but I believe they will go on the Rogue eventually. So we instantly start with a huge opener here. We fear the Feral, kidney the Priest, and almost kill him in the opener. One thing that we thought about doing after this game was not using Garrote Silence in the beginning, so we have a longer silence off the kidney. The Rogue can open with Ambush or some other global and not actually put him on DR, because we're not going to really burst him down. Our damage takes a little bit to add up. But since we have good damage rolling on the Priest, we're just going to tunnel him for a bit. I need to be cautious of the mana again. Something I think I struggled with early on in these matchups was not being used to always having MD, so I'm spending mana a lot more freely. Look how much pressure we're getting on the Priest. So we've already forced Dome, and they're all kind of dying here. So really good that, like, his mana bar, oh my god, he's like already halfway from us training him. So this is definitely a solid strat. However, once he's completely topped off, it's a good thing to maybe hit other targets. Fortunately, we get a blind onto the Feral Druid. I fake the kick with the Mind Games, fear them off of this. Mind Games the Priest. And this is where we fuck up. We Rogue Kick Penance and we Wind Shear at the same time. If we had Shear for that Shadowman, we would have just won the game. So something that your Shaman and Rogue can always do a good job of is coordinating interrupts. Now, I'm playing kind of sketchy right now. I don't have enough mana for MD. We somehow get out of that trap, I guess. Just keeping dots up on everybody. Void Form is about to come off cooldown. We want to just use damage on cooldown. He told me to stun the Priest there. Shivved him out of it, so he's going to have reduced healing. I don't know what the bomb was for there. That might have been Fat Finger or something. Purge the Thorns off and try to kill the Feral here. We have a Silence and a Mind Games. Should be able to send it here. Might get kicked on this, actually. Nope, doesn't kick me. Flushcraft saves him. Notice I siphon when the Feral's low HP. It's going to force him to have to run. Gets gripped out. I have a silence, but it's better to save it for the kidney shot. It's not going to do much here if I use it. Unless I can land a mind games, and that would be pretty good. Here we go, here we go, here we go. And he's going to kick it. Damn it. They have no interrupts now. There's the dome. The priest has completely no mana. We're just going to win just from surviving. And we were able to do that this game with me not playing well with my master spells. So kind of interesting to point out that we're still able to win, even though I played bad. Alright guys, that's going to be it for the video. Thank you so much for watching. I hope that this was helpful in some regard. If I had to summarize it, play Siphon, Fast MD, watch your mana, protect your Shaman from CC, only CC when the Fleshcraft shield is down, and kidney out of bear form if possible. Sneaky PvP, man, always kidneys out of bear form, so if you can find a way to do that, I would highly recommend it. Why don't we actually give Sneaky PvP man a shout out for a second? I feel like he actually needs some love. Alright, here he is in his element, waiting for his opportunity. He has kidney shot, he has combo points. Surely he will leave bear form. He leaves bear form. Kidney shot, hemotoxin, shiv, and venom burst. And we win the game. That's what I'm talking about. If anyone wants to play with my rogue, I'm always down to play with viewers. I don't care about my rating of my rogue. I'm hella geared, and I do big ass damn, so just hit me up. GG's, guys. Thank you for watching. Follow the stream. I stream every night at twitch.tv/stopsp. And you can see I have all these wonderful videos from every day that I play. Thank you so much for watching again. Peace out.